Now at 10, the Carthage School District Superintendent is asking parents to monitor their kids' online presence following 2 threats. Plus, a Missouri lawmaker calls out Governor Parson for his reaction to a journalist covering a potential security issue.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Carthage School District is experiencing an increase in online threats. This is KOAM News at 10. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the school district and local police for details.
The Carthage School District is dealing with multiple threats in just 2 weeks.
Last week we had a message come across many students' phones and social media that dealt with possible violence at school, but it wasn't directed to Carthage. It just happened to be our kids was spreading it, and that's how come we knew about it.
That threat, not directed at any particular school, had actually originated from Mount Vernon. Another threat occurring this week also was not directed at any particular school, but was found to have originated from the school district.
Neither threat mentioned specific place or availability of the weapon or the fight or anything, so it's pretty vague, and that's what made it pretty difficult to track down. We did have one that came across some social media sites earlier this week. So far, we've been reported to the police department. The police investigated.
Reports that originated here in Carthage of threats against the school. Some of them were very vague about what the threats were, and then upon investigation, one of them did have to deal with our school, and the other one ended up being out of our district.
The juvenile responsible for the post circulating from Carthage was identified and detained according to a Facebook post from the Carthage School District.
And then eventually led us to, the juvenile suspect that ultimately ended up saying that, he didn't mean to post it type thing.
Now, both Dr. Baker and the local PD are asking students to think before they post. In Carthage, Bronte Sorotsky, KUAM News.
The Carthage Police Department and School District also ask parents to check their kids' social media accounts and make sure their kids understand the severity of making any threats. Missouri Governor Mike Parson is accusing a major St. Louis media outlet of hacking into a State Department of Education website. While the governor did not refer to the media outlet specifically, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch admits it's identified a vulnerability in the Department of Education site. Governor Parson argues the media outlet broke the law. The Post-Dispatch disagrees. In a statement, they said the reporter did the responsible thing by reporting his findings. The statement went on to say, quote, "A hacker is someone who subverts computer security with malicious or criminal intent. Here, there was no breach of any firewall or security and certainly no malicious intent." For DESE to deflect its failures by referring to this as hacking is unfounded. Thankfully, these failures were discovered. Missouri State House Minority Leader Crystal Quaid from Springfield also responded to Governor Parson's accusations in a statement saying, quote, "Instead of falsely blaming the St. Louis Post-Dispatch for a hacking that never happened, Governor Parson should thank the paper for uncovering a serious flaw in a state website that exposed the personal information of more than 100,000 Missouri educators." More rain chances on the way. Doug Hetty joins us.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get a few more showers and thunderstorms a little bit later on tonight. Up to this point, we've just had some very random, light, tiny, scattered showers across the region. Temperatures right about where we should be for this time of the year. 73 for a high, normal high is 72, even though we had a lot of clouds throughout the daytime hours. And these spotty hit and miss little showers, not a big deal. And it's pretty quiet actually right now. As we go through the overnight hours, still some spotty showers, and then late tonight, we're talking 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Thunderstorms will increase right along and south of Interstate 44. These are going to push through, and then we'll have some leftover showers behind it by the time we head into the morning hours. But our temperatures, big switch here. We're going to mainly start into the 60s, and then we're going to drop as we go through the day, and actually turning quite a bit colder over the next couple days. So we're going to look at that and into the weekend here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Oklahoma's governor and attorney general are voicing their opposition to President Biden's pending vaccine mandate for businesses with more than 100 employees. In a video statement, Governor Kevin Stitt said that mandate is unconstitutional. Meanwhile, Republican Attorney General John O'Connor has urged businesses to disregard the push for a vaccine mandate. He said he and attorneys general in other states would sue to stop any mandate that's implemented. The president's mandate is to be implemented in the coming weeks. An FDA panel recommended Moderna boosters for millions of Americans, the first step towards authorization. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
So we do have a unanimous 19 out of 19 yes votes.
The FDA advisory panel voted to recommend a Moderna booster shot for those 65 and older. It would also include younger adults with health issues and workers who face a higher COVID-19 risk. Both Pfizer and Moderna boosters are given at least 6 months after the second shot. But unlike Pfizer, Moderna's booster shot will only be a half, not full dose. Dr. Peter Hotez says he's not recommending the Moderna booster for everyone.
Well, in the case of the Moderna vaccine, it may not be necessary just yet because the immune response to the Moderna vaccine seems a little more robust and durable than the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine.
If the FDA and CDC greenlight the Moderna boosters, those shots could start being distributed as early as the end of next week.
One thing that I think will be important is really, if we are going to be making boosters available, is to increase efforts to get these to specific communities at risk.
The FDA advisors are meeting Friday to discuss a proposed booster for Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine. At the White House, President Biden said the number of unvaccinated Americans, now 66 million, is still too high. Even with recent progress, he credits to employer vaccine mandates.
Let's be clear. Vaccination requirements should not be another issue that divides us.
One battle that may soon come to a boil is in Chicago, where the police union chief is telling officers to defy a requirement to report their vaccination status or be put on unpaid leave. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Tomorrow, the FDA panel will also look at the question of mixing and matching boosters from different vaccine manufacturers. Still ahead, sentencing for a New York real estate heir who was convicted of killing his best friend decades ago. But first, in sports, Pitt State prepares to bounce back from its loss to Northwest Missouri as they take on Lincoln. How the Gorillas are using their last loss as a learning opportunity.
Well, this week is homecoming week for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. Pitt State welcomes in Lincoln on Saturday in Week 7 of the MIAA schedule. The Gorillas are 4-2 through their first 6. Last week, it was a tough one for Pitt State, falling on the road to Northwest by 1 after leading 13-0 at halftime. Now, it was a loss, but the team says they saw some good stuff on film, and that includes the run game that posted more yards on the Bearcats than any other team so far this season.
I definitely think it was a positive step, but at the end of the day, it's still a loss, but we got over it through the week. I think the running game is always positive for us. I think as an O-line, we're big, we're physical, and it's hard really for anybody to compete with us body for body.
That game is a game of one more third down conversion, one more field goal made, one more touchdown scored in the red zone, maybe one more stop by our defense. You know, that's where we're at right now, and that was the outcome of that game. I think that it's a game of inches, and we needed to win a couple more inches.
We have some Thursday night high school action this evening in Northeast Oklahoma. Both QUAPAW and Commerce are at home tonight. And we'll start with QUAPAW. The Wildcats 4-2 through their first 6 after falling to Pawhuska on the road last week. Now AFTON gets a play on defense early. Brady Robinson gets the interception inside the 5. From there, though, it was all QUAPAW. Jackson Derringer out to Preston Thomason. Spins out of one tackle. Stiff arm there. Then he's all alone. 42-yard touchdown connection puts the Wildcats up 8-0. Then QUAPAW gets a play on defense. Pass tipped at the line. Stetson MacArthur comes down with the interception, and they would turn that into points. Derringer to Peyton Schapp here. He weaves in and out of defenders. Eventually, he'll dive in for the touchdown. At that point, Wildcats out to a 15-0 lead. But Preston Thomason back in the highlights. Quarterback tries to get rid of it here. Thomason there for the interception. He'd actually take this one back for the pick 6. QUAPAW goes up 22-0. Wildcats go on to win this one big, 48-16. To Commerce now, the Tigers try for their third straight win, hosting the Ketchum Warriors. The first drive for Commerce, Austin Lake fakes the handoff, takes off, breaking tackles into the end zone for the first score of the night, makes it 7-0 home team. The next drive for Commerce, Eric Cunningham finds a hole, rips off a big run, finds pay dirt. That gets the lead to double digits for the Tigers. Now Commerce going to the pass game. Lake looking around, finds Levi Reinhardt in the end zone. Tigers now have the first 21 of the night, but they get more. Cunningham again on the ground, his second score of the evening. It's 28-0 early. Commerce continues to roll, taking this one 41-6. Well, tonight is semifinal night at the Class 4 District 6 softball tournament in Neosho. We have 3 local teams still alive in the tournament, looking to move on to the district championship. First up, the Webb City Cardinals hit the field tonight against Willard. First batter of the game, Peyton Hawkins. Leadoff home run to left. Webb City up 1-0. Next inning, 2 gone for Kaylin Gilbert. She'll put it over the fence. It's a 2-run homer. Makes it 3-0 Webb. Now Willard ties it up, then a wild pitch. Go-ahead run coming home. She's out. Big play for the Cardinals. Coming up clutch in the 7th, Hannah Wells breaks the tie with the RBI double. Webb City would add some insurance runs. They win at 6-3 to move on to the district championship.
Peyton leading off with that home run, that did just set the tone for the game, and it just got everybody in the right mindset that we're going to go out and do everything we can to win this ball game. I mean, I feel like they got up to the plate with confidence, and they believed in themselves, believed in each other. And we're just willing to do whatever it takes to get on top and win that game.
Other side of the bracket, Neosho on their home field faces McDonald County. The first inning, J.C. Franken gets a hit to shallow right. Nevaeh Dotson comes home for the first run of the ball game. The Mustangs still going. Addison Leach gets a piece of it, enough to drive in Reagan Myrick. Mustangs take a 2-0 lead. McDonald County goes on to run away with this one. So we get a rematch of last year's district title game with the Mustangs facing Webb City. Finally, Class 5 District 6, the Carthage Tigers trying to knock off the #1 seed in Nixa and move on to the district championship. Carthage, though, falls tonight in a tight one 5-3. The Tigers finish the season with a 21-14 overall record. So now, busy night of high school football, busy night of softball. I'm just glad the rain held off.
And you're going to have a busy night tomorrow night.
For sure.
It never ends for the sports department. Still ahead, the nation's 3 largest package delivery services are out with their holiday shipping deadlines. We can tell you when they say you should get your gifts on their way. And a Southwest Missouri professor helps bring the dark web into the light.
Plus, it looks like another round of showers and thunderstorms for part of the area tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Kind of a gloomy day for us today. A lot of clouds, but temperature is not that bad as we did go into lower 70s for afternoon highs. We were kind of dodging some showers, especially during the morning hours, and then again late this afternoon into the evening. Nothing very heavy, but just some random light showers. But it looks okay right now. Here's a nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resorts. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, rainfall. We've only had 4 1/100ths of an inch for us today. For the month, we're at 2.5 inches. For the year, almost 41, so we're above normal by about 3.5 inches, which is good. We always need the rain, especially this time of the year. Temps right now, most of us are sitting into the mid-60s. We're slowly going to drop off back to about 60 later on tonight, but a cold front is building out to our west. Look at the colder air. Lincoln's down to 58, it's 40 in Rapid City. Goodland's at 42, it's 36 in Denver, and we're going to tap into that cooler air by the time we head into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. As of right now, it's still fairly comfortable. It's 66, a light south wind, humidity's up there. We do have a little bit of patchy fog in some of the low-lying areas, so if you are going to be out tonight, watch out for that. But not much going on the radar. We have some spotty little showers that we've been watching, especially earlier, but now it's pretty dry, but we are going to see some changes right between Wichita and Oklahoma City. We're going to start to get some showers and thunderstorms getting going. These are going to ride northeast along Interstate 44 and will affect the southern half of the viewing area later on tonight. Here's the main system wrapping up, getting ready to head out of here. That's the system that has given us rain over the past gosh, 3 days. Let's go through time. 3:30 in the morning. You can see this cluster of thunderstorms move into northeastern Oklahoma. Some of these could be strong. I think if there was anything severe, it's mainly going to be just south of here. But a few of those could be strong. They ride northeast, right into southwestern parts of Missouri. But if you live north of Interstate 44, you're not going to get much. Most of the rain is going to be along and south of I-44. So this is late tonight. Here's 5:30 in the morning. It's out of here. Then behind it, all morning long, we just have clouds and random light showers. Temperatures kind of holding steady in the upper 50s. By afternoon, the clouds will start to break up and will clear out by the time we head into the evening. So here's 7 p.m. when all the high school football games begin. Look at our temps. It's going to be chilly. Most of us are going to be sitting into the low to mid 50s. Here's your day planner starting at 60, dropping to 57 by noon. Showers out of here by the afternoon, and then we kind of hold into the upper 50s to near 60 for the rest of the day. Tomorrow night it gets chilly. Upper 30s to near 40. A lot of areas could drop to 38, 39 degrees, which would be the coldest temps we've definitely seen this fall. And then Saturday looks fantastic. Sunny skies, high temps into the mid 60s during the afternoon. All right, rainfall tonight. You can see where most of it goes along and south of I-44. Those areas you could pick up a half an inch, maybe even 3/4 of an inch of rain. Everybody else, a couple hundredths of an inch. 60 tomorrow, 65 Saturday, 74 by Sunday. So the entire weekend looks great. Great weekend to get outside, do some outdoor activities. And really, most of next week shaping up pretty good as well.
Looks like a nice fall week in the 4 states.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the dark web has been at the center of some rumors surrounding the disappearance of a Dallas County, Missouri woman. But what exactly is that? Sometimes called the underbelly of the internet, the dark web. It's made up of a series of websites hidden from the general public. And since the disappearance of a Dallas County, Missouri woman, it's been at the center of numerous unsubstantiated rumors. Reporter Bailey Stroll has more.
There's no end to human depravity. That's one thing that history has taught us, and unfortunately the dark web is a magnet for human depravity.
At its core, the dark web is a way to surf the internet anonymously. Shannon McMurtry, a professor of cybersecurity at Drury, says it's useful for those living in countries where censorship is common, but for those in the U.S., it often serves a different purpose.
Passwords, credit card numbers, social security numbers, it's all available online, and certainly the drug trade is what made it famous.
It was first created by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory to ensure operatives could communicate without being tracked, but it was made available to the world in 2004. McMurtry says it's only accessible through what's called the Onion browser, similar to Google Chrome or Firefox we use every day.
What most people think of when they think of the dark web are those websites that you cannot get to without some additional software. And that's where a lot of the content tends to exist that is pretty offensive and not good.
So what was once a network founded on good intentions has in many places now become a safe haven for cyber criminals.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of child pornography that's on the dark web. There are things that you just don't want to see, you don't want to be a part of, and you can stumble across it without necessarily trying. So when you start digging into those websites that are not accessible through a normal web browser, you don't know what's going to be there until the page loads, and there's no reason to do that.
Robert Durst today was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of his best friend, Susan Berman, in Los Angeles. The subject of the HBO documentary series The Jinx, Durst confessed to 3 murders on tape when he thought no one was recording. Him saying, "I killed them all," of course, became a key piece of evidence. Prosecutors convinced a jury that Durst killed Berman in 2000 to keep her from talking about another crime, the disappearance of his first wife, Kathy, in 1982. His sensational murder trial began in March of 2020, but was delayed more than a year because of the pandemic. Attorneys for Durst say they will appeal. Mortgage rates are going up again. The average interest rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage rose to 3.05% in the week ending October 14th. Freddie Mac says that's the highest rate since April. And the 15-year fixed-rate mortgage rose to 2.3%. After falling steadily during the first year of the pandemic, rates reached a record low at the beginning of 2021, then rose through the spring before falling again and settling in just under 3% for most of the summer. Now rates are expected to continue to gradually rise. But while rates are still historically low, home prices continue to hover near record highs, causing many potential home buyers to stay on the sidelines. The nation's 3 largest package delivery services are out with their holiday shipping schedules. The recommended final shipping days for the U.S. Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS pretty much the same as they were in 2019 and 2020. For UPS, 3-day select delivery and FedEx 3-day freight arriving by December 24th. You need to ship your items by the 21st. For Postal Service, retail ground delivery arriving before December 25th. You should ship by December 15th. But even if you meet the deadlines, you could see late packages due to the ongoing pandemic and global supply chain disruptions. Also, the Postal Service made changes at the beginning of October that slowed down service. They also tacked on a temporary holiday price increase. Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Corporal Alton Duker served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Goodman, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Corporal Alton Duker. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Some more rain chances on the way down.
Yeah, mainly along and south of Interstate 44. Late tonight into the morning hours, and then everybody else just kind of hit and miss light showers through the morning tomorrow. But we are going to clear out, and it looks pretty good for high school football tomorrow evening. It's just going to be chilly.
Final sports notes.
Speaking of high school football, big one tomorrow night, McDonald County against Nevada. Both teams 6-1. Their only loss, each of them, has been to Lamar.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget our morning show, and let's make it a great tomorrow.
Services provided.